Welcome to Riley Blake Designs Block Challenge 2023. We are so excited you're here. We've got 16 unique quilt blocks designed by various artists, including one by myself. So join us this year as we create all these unique blocks and that will make one beautiful quilt. There's all kinds of options that you can use your own fabrics, or we have two options of batik fabrics. One's batiks. I'm going to be sewing with batiks this year, or we have RBD solids. I know our designers will be using their own fabrics on their own quilt blocks, so there's many options for you to see and inspire you, but whatever you choose to make, we're glad you're sewing with us. So let's get started. This is the quilt block. It's quilt block number 1. It's designed by Beverly McCullough of Flamingo Toes, and it is a fantastic bright block that is easy to put together. It's a great block to start with, and I love how it looks. So let's get started on the pattern. The first thing you're going to need to do is download the pattern on the Riley Blake Designs website. It's called Cottage Garden by Beverly McCullough of Flamingo Toes. And we're going to move this to the side. It gives you all the cutting instructions and the fabric requirements for this quilt block. So let's get started. I previously cut out all my quilt pieces. So I'm going to put on my glasses, and the first thing it tells you to do in the pattern is take your A squares and your D squares. Now it's really handy if you have this Seam So Easy guide. You don't need to mark your squares, but if you don't have that guide, you're going to want to mark your squares corner to corner. And that is going to be your guide. It's not going to be your stitch line, but you're going to sew, put right sides together. Now if you're using solids or hand dyes, there's not really a right sides together. But if you're doing printed, then that matters. Okay, so you're going to sew a 1/4 inch on each side of that line. Or if you got a Seam So Easy guide, the side of your foot, you line that up with this line right there. And that makes it really easy to sew these half square triangles. And we're just going to chain piece these. Flip it around, sew the other side. Okay, cut that. Let's clip our threads in between. Now this is going to be, like all quilting, it's going to be very important for you to have an accurate 1/4 inch seam allowance. And my stitch length, I'm stitching more and more with a 2.0. So that's my stitch length. Instead of the standard 2.5, that seems to work better for quilting. Okay, let's press these open. Give them a good heat set. And I'm just gonna press them to the dark side. Let it cool underneath my clapper. Put that over there. Give them a good press. Okay, and you bring them back, and they're supposed to be, let's see, 2.5 inches squared up. So I love these little this little square up tool. I put it to one corner. Okay, let's just finish all three of these up, the rest of these. Okay, those are ready to go. The next thing we're gonna do is grab our B rectangles and our C squares. And you're gonna mark these corner to corner. Now, I'm gonna show you right here. We need a mirror image. We need 4 of them, of this unit facing this way and 4 facing the other way. So you're not gonna make them all the same. So I kind of line them up like this. Now you're gonna mark those corner to corner if you don't have a Seam So Easy guide. And that is going to be your stitch line. And sometimes it's just easy to marked. So I'm going to sew these 4 so I don't confuse myself. And so I line that right there. If it's marked, I'm going to just sew along the line. But since it's not marked, I'm just lining up on that seam or that line at the bottom. Oops, I got away from me. Okay, these 4 are done. See, that's gonna flip back that way. So we just need to trim them off. Okay, let's press these. Press and flip. Give them a good heat set. Okay, so these are ready to go, and that is this unit right here. So now we need to make the mirror image opposite. And remember, you're doing a flip. So we need, let's see, I'll lay that out. So that's gonna flip back that way. Make sure we check. So those are all going to fit on that side. We're gonna, again, if you don't have a Seam So Easy guide, mark, this is gonna be marked from corner to corner, and that's gonna be your stitch line. Otherwise, I am putting it on that corner, lining it up there, and just stitching down. Makes it pretty slick, saves you a little bit of time marking your blocks. Let's clip all our threads. And before we cut, we're gonna just check that. Yep, still how we want it. Trim down to a 1/4 inch. Okay, let's go give it a good press and open it up. Oops. Let's cool a little bit. These are all ready to go. So the center of this block is this 16 patch. So you can just follow the pattern and line your, if you want it scrappy, you want to make it however you want, that's your prerogative. Or you can line it up. I'm gonna get this bigger design board. Follow the pattern exactly. So let's see what we did. We got the red here, red there, red on the end. Looks like red down here. And we've got this blue and a few spots. So there, on the end, and the yellow. You know, we kind of do the work for you to lay it out. So if you want to just copy what we do, that works. Okay, I'll put these on the side there, put those there. Now we're gonna just take it to the machine, make our little 16 patch. You can pin if you'd like. I've got those ready to go, so I'm not going to pin. Just going to chain piece these together. Okay, let's take it over here. Press those open. Now do not cut the threads in between. They keep you organized. And if you want to flip every other right here, you can. And just in case any of your pieces have turned, give your pattern a quick look. Now let's flip over these. And this is probably where I do pin, because they don't move with you so well. And we have these new RBD little bird pins, so that's new in the new year. It's kind of fun to make cute little pins. Okay. Quick press. Let's see, we're flipping those that way. So I'm just gonna, do every other, that one should be going that way. You can choose to press right now or not. You're in charge of how you assemble your block. But sometimes as you press as you go is helpful. Again, I do not clip my threads in between. And now we're on our last little square. squares. We just flip over. My quick pin. Okay, in this little section. Let's see, those are all going that way, so we'll continue the trend going that way, which means these are all going the opposite. Let's see, those are going that way, so we'll go that way. Okay, we have 3 more seams. It's time to nest them. Those should all be going that direction. We'll just... This is where I do pin these intersections where the seams get nested. Or I'm just nestling them into place. And I pin all 3 at the same time. So that goes that way. Okay, let's go sew. Okay, those are good to go. Let's take a look. Give it a, sometimes I press from the back side, sometimes I don't. Just kind of take a look. Okay, our center is finished. Time to assemble our block. You know, we've got these on all 4 corners. We've got those. Okay, here it is all laid out. I tend to start with these. They almost make a little flying geese. And I'll show you what, I'm gonna put those together. We'll chain piece those all together. And I know I've mentioned this before, but if you're new here, I rarely ever open up my seams. I usually like to flip them to one side or the other. So this is no exception. I'm not gonna open these seams up. I'm gonna flip one side to the other, just kind of finger press it like that so they nest really nice. And I'm gonna sew that down right down the middle. Okay, I'm gonna clip these. I'm not gonna press them at this moment because I'm gonna line them up with the center, and then depending on which direction that seam's going, I'm gonna flip my seams the opposite. So I'm not gonna press at this moment. Lay those all out. And now the pattern tells you to assemble in rows. So you're gonna assemble this row, and that row. So right sides together, and this is going to be flipped there, that's going to be flipped there. I'm going to sew my first 2 pieces of the row. Pull it over here. Now when you're assembling this next piece, decide which way you're going to flip your seam. So I'm going to flip that center seam this way because they should nest right in the center there. So you can throw a pin in there so it doesn't move. I'm still not going to press my seams or clip my threads in between, and I'm going to open this up. Still should be lining up how you'd like it to look. Again, see that center section lines right up there. And then I'm going to flip that there. Since it's a little more awkward to work with it this way, I'm going to pin it. Again, some people may choose to open up their seam. That's fine if you want to choose to do that. I flipped it. I'm going to flip it that way. And then, but I'm flipping to one side, so I'm going to nest that seam in the center right there. Going to toss a pin in right there. Oh, I think I need another pin right there. Stay open. Okay, last one. Okay, let's bring it out. We only have 2 more seams. Again, you can nest your seams here, 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 and there. So we flip it over. Let's see, that naturally kind of wants to fall out. So I'm going to nest my seam right there. Just kind of finger press it down. I'm going to do it for the same there. That's going to fall out. And that, I'm going to flip that direction. I'll pin right there to keep that seam open. Just flip it to the other way. Okay, our block is finished. We need to give it a good press and square it up. It's looking good though, isn't it? A lot of times I'll give it a little spritz at the end. And I'll just set my seams a little bit. Open it up. Okay, look how it's coming together. Let's just square it up. It is supposed to be 10.5 inches unfinished. And let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to trim up just a little bit on this outside edge, making sure that my 1/4 inch to the corner is not cut off. So that looks good there. I'm gonna trim it right there. Your points should be inside this seam allowance right there. Not much to trim off at all. And the Cottage Garden quilt block is finished. This is just such a fun block designed by Beverly McCullough. We can't wait to see what she does with her own block. I did want to show you a different version that I sewed out of our confetti cotton solids. So you can just see the different variations of the same block. So we're just glad you're here. So whether you sew with our batiks, our solids, or something else, we are just glad you're sewing along and following along with us. Join us next time for block number 2, designed by Jill Finley, and it's called Fanfare.